Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of Boots and Back Roads. Today on this episode, I'm going to be talking about the external propane port on these manufactured Class B vans, or as Hank Hill would say, propane and propane accessories. Damn it, Bobby! So before I get started on this, I'm going to just make sure that my propane switch is off. Propane switch on our Thir Sequence 20L is right here on the driver's side. Red light means propane is on. Now the switch is off. So most of these manufactured Class B vans have some type of auxiliary external propane port. On our Thir Sequence, it's located on the passenger rear. Other manufacturers, I've seen them on the driver's side. I've seen them midship. Ours is located back here. And this is a really cool feature because it's pre-regulated, meaning this is plumbed after the regulator that's mounted underneath the van. So when you turn your propane switch on, you have propane, regulated propane right here at this port. And this port uses a 1/4 inch propane quick connect you just push in on the sleeve and pop this out. And if you want to use this, if you want to hook up all kinds of cool accessories, then you're going to need something like this. You can probably get these at propane stores, can probably make these for you, hose shops, things like that. We decided to just buy this one pre-made off Amazon. You can get them in various lengths. Ours is 20 feet, but you can get them in 5 feet, 25, 30, 40 feet, whatever. And the thing I like the most about it is it's all set up and ready to go to plug into our van. So essentially you've got a 1/4 inch quick connect on this side. Push that in, push your sleeve forward, loosen, and now I'm good to go. When I turn this on, I will now have propane in my hose. And the other thing that I like about this pre-made hose is that it has another shutoff switch in it. So I can keep the propane on here and turn it off at whatever appliance that I'm using. So kind of cool. And you know, there's many things that you can hook up to this. We cook almost exclusively outside of the van, and we use a propane cooking appliance. So this is something that we've been using for 4 years, and I don't think we would use anything else. So that's pretty much your second step. And now you need to get your appliances ready to hook into this hose. All right, so we're gonna just assume that we have this end plugged into our van. And now, how do I plug this end with the quick connect into my appliance? Because as you can see here on this Blackstone, doesn't have the right fitting on it. So I'm going to choose the Blackstone because this is what we use. We've been using this for 4 years. We absolutely love this thing. And it's very easy to convert this so that you can use your quick connect hose and use it outside of the van. Now, when you buy one of these, and a lot of there's hundreds of stoves, and everybody has a different opinion on what's good and what's not. This is what we chose. This is what I have, so this is what I'll show you. But the pretty much the steps are going to be the same. You're going to need to remove the regulator that comes on this appliance. This one is set up for just a standard 1-pound propane tank. And how I'm going to remove that, I'm just going to take a pair of my giant channel locks. You see that's a fitting right there. And I'm just going to loosen that up. And I'm going to take that off. And now the factory propane connection is removed. So what am I looking at now? I'm looking at this thing. Still, can I plug this in? No, I can't. I'm going to need a propane quick connect. So this is made specifically for the Blackstone, although the thread size on this may fit other stoves. Got this on Amazon. All of the stuff that I have, I will link and put in the description for you guys to see. But essentially, all I have to do is put this here, and now I can connect to this. One important thing that I want to bring up, when you're buying the things that you need to put a quick connect on your appliance, you need to make sure that you tell them it is a 1/4 inch propane quick connect. Because if you walk into a hardware store and you ask for a 1/4 inch quick connect, they're probably going to give you something like this. This is made for air. This is made for propane, and you can see there's a big difference in those flanges. This will not work with propane. Ask me how I know. This is made for propane. So on the Blackstone, this actually has a double O-ring seal on the inside, and that's going to seal on this shaft. So do I need any type of sealant on these threads? Probably not. But I'm a big believer in more is better. So I'm going to use some Teflon tape. This is the stuff that I carry all the time. I know it's not yellow. Yellow's for gas. This is all inclusive. This stuff will do gas. This stuff will do regular plumbing. I don't need to carry around 3 different types of Teflon tape. And I'm just going to put this on my threads. Usually about 3 wraps is about what I prefer to use. It's a little bit more. And now I'm going to just slide this on. Tighten it down with my channel locks. And now I have a 1/4 inch propane quick connect on my Blackstone. So I'm plugged into my van. I want to hook my Blackstone up. I just simply, and now I'm good to go. When I have the valve open on my auxiliary propane port on the van, I now have gas here, and when I'm getting ready to cook, I'm going to open that up, and now I have gas in my appliance, and then I can use the knob on the appliance to start it up and use my propane, use my grill. So now when I'm finished cooking, usually what I do is I'll actually walk over to the van and turn that valve off first, just to expel all the gas out of this line, burn it off, whatever. Then I'll come over here, shut that valve off, shut my appliance off, and now I've got all the gas out of the line and I'm good to go. And then all I got to do is just pull back on my lock collar, take it off, and I can put everything away. So next, I want to talk about, what if you don't have the Blackstone? What if I can't find this quick connect that's made specifically for a Blackstone? How do I put a propane quick connect on something else? Well, I'm going to show you. The other appliance that we use with our van regularly is this propane fire pit. It is the cat's meow, in my opinion. No worry about wet wood, wood smoke, stinking up everything. It works great. It puts out a ton of heat. We put it in our little Gazelle pop-up, and it'll blow us out of there if it's 30 degrees outside. However, when I bought this, this had a hose on it that was actually made to hook up to a 20-pound propane tank. And I really couldn't find anything online specifically for this model. So I had to take the fittings off of this, take them into, around here we use Aubuchon hardware, Ace hardware, and we basically had to experiment and find the proper propane fittings that would fit this. And it was super easy. I mean, the guys in there, he was super knowledgeable. I think we had everything I needed in like 5 minutes. But I'm going to show you what I had to do. So this was connected way back under here where the knob is. And pretty much any appliance you buy, you're going to be able to remove the factory regulator and plumb into it somehow. I want to say that this was 3/8 compression, either 3/8 or 1/2 inch compression. And that leads me to a couple other things I wanted to talk about. The Blackstone, the fire pit, anything that you want to buy and use with your external port has to be low pressure. It's a low pressure system. A lot of the stoves out there are high pressure, and if you try to connect that setup, this setup, on your van to a high pressure stove, it's not going to work. You're going to get barely any flame, maybe even no flame at all. So you need to make sure what you're looking for is low pressure. So back to the fittings. What we ended up finding for this was one of these, pretty sure that's a 1/2 inch compression. And when I say compression, I mean this is how it fits together. You don't need any Teflon tape or pipe dope. You could put a little pipe dope on it. I didn't, and I've never had a problem with it, because essentially that screws in and makes a seal against the copper line right here. So I put this on the grill, on the fire pit. You can see this setup is a little bit different. I bought some extras, and I didn't take this apart to show you. And then I used this compression. Same deal, didn't need any Teflon tape or anything, but now I brought it out to a pipe thread fitting. And now I'm gonna wrap this with thread tape, and I'm gonna put this fitting on, my 1/4 inch quick connect. And that's the setup that I came up with for this. Yes, that is an air one. This is a propane one. I had used all my propane ones for this and my other, so I didn't have a spare propane one, but don't use that one. And that's the setup that I came up with for this, and it was super simple. Again, if you go to, maybe a propane store or, a good local hardware store, most of those folks are knowledgeable enough to be able to figure out what you need in order to put a 1/4 inch quick connect on this. And, depending on what you have for an appliance, I think this cost me $5, maybe less, to convert this into a quick connect fitting as opposed to the one that was on it. And I would just say, use a propane compatible thread tape on all of your pipe thread fittings. And it wouldn't hurt to use a little bit of pipe dope, pipe compound, just as an extra to make sure that you don't have any leaks here, because nobody wants a propane leak. And yeah, I think that's about it. So same deal as the Blackstone, I'm hooked up to my van, and I'm gonna just lock in here, turn my propane on at the van, turn my propane on here, and now I just use my knob for whatever your appliance has. This one I have to light with a lighter. It doesn't have an igniter on it. And when I'm finished up, turn my propane off at the van, then I turn my propane off here, turn my propane off here, and I'm done. Pick this up, move it, carry it, send it, whatever you want to do. Pretty cool. And so my wife just made an awesome point, because that's what she does, that people are probably going to ask questions about what this is and what size it is and how do you carry that stuff in your van. Well, we've come up with some really cool strategies to carry these things around. This actually fits, it's in a bag case, so it's not just sitting out there like this, but it fits perfectly in the shower pan of our bathroom in our 20L. So basically we put that on the shower floor, and when we get to our campsite, this is kind of our setup. We have a table that's kind of tucked in behind the wardrobe. Take the table out, set it up, grab my Blackstone, put it on the table, take this out of the van, slide it underneath the table, and then we have a grill cover that we bought at Home Depot that covers everything, makes it look like we have a barbecue grill. Our Blackstone actually fits on the passenger side bed if we fold the cushion back where the slats are for the little headrest doohickey. It fits right there. It's absolutely perfect. It's like it was made for the Blackstone. And we're actually going to show you pictures of exactly where we store these so that you can see for yourself. Here we are in our humble abode, home away from home, and this is where we store the Blackstone. I left the slats, this bed headrest thingy here, and because the Blackstone fits perfect, the back legs kind of slide in between the slats and the front legs sit on the slat, and it just kind of wedges itself right in here, and we don't strap it down. We do, it just sits there, and we've never had it move, I don't think, a quarter of an inch the entire time that we've been doing it this way. It works pretty cool. And fire pit fits perfectly on the floor of our bathroom, and our table slides right in behind the shower pan and in behind the wardrobe. Fits great. We do put a little bungee from here to just keep the table from moving around, but that's how we travel. And when we get to our campsite or wherever we're staying for the night, just take the table out, put the Blackstone on the table, put the fire pit under the Blackstone, and then use our fancy Home Depot grill cover to cover everything up. Works great.